and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. I have to. There's so much to talk about that I'm almost overwhelmed. I can't decide, okay, do I talk about this or that or whatever? I realize I have to talk about the penis statue put together by Hank Willis Thomas. And in order to give credibility to my critique, I just want to say that this isn't polished like it was, but I was an artist, a jewelry artist, and it's not about whether I'm famous or got $10 million. I don't know if he got $10 million just to pay him. Not that I was ever a famous or rich one. I did really well when I was selling my jewelry, but things have moved on. But one of the simple things that any artist would know is, especially when it comes to sculpting, is you take into account the view from every single angle. Like this was as big as I got. Well, I also made a big giant chair, but this was supposed to be a candelabra. This right here, this side would also flail out to this side, and I never got to finish it because I just didn't have that type of money in order to complete my ambitions and my dreams. And it's okay, because now I'm here for us, and that is even more satisfying than making sculpture. But what I'm saying is that in forging what I did, I always knew you can't just look at it from one angle. You have to look at it from all angles. So let's take a look at Mr. Hank Willis Thompson's penis statue. Whereas with the penis statue, that's what it's known as of now, and even not only Megyn Kelly said it looks like a penis, but Coretta Scott King also said that it looks like a penis. Now, almost all the articles are scathingly against this monstrosity, but when there are any positive articles, they show it from select angles that are flattering to the sculpture, even though it does not begin to speak in terms of the monumental figure that Martin Luther King is to the world. Now, there's all complexities that go along with Martin Luther King also, because he's been so despicably used by white people, when for me, the only reason why I give him credit is because I can sense that he was sincere in his love and fight for us, because he met with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he started speaking in his, before they shot him to death, life, he started speaking on how this whole integration, working with these people, was not going to work out for you and me. And obviously integration has been just such a lose-lose. So I give him respect in that regard. And that's why they assassinated him, because he had such a worldwide credible voice, and they didn't want him changing from integration to separation, not segregation. That's a whole nother definition there, but separation. And so for such a monumental person to be depicted in a just abstract type of regard is a diminishment of the force of who he was, because in future ain't nobody gonna probably even remember what the heck this statue is about. You want your babies to be able to walk by and say, "Mama, who is that man?" Like this one in Washington, D.C. that I saw up close and personal. At least you could recognize, okay, that's Martin Luther King, even though we don't know when we're being viciously insulted. That black history museum that just looks like a upside down Chinese, lo mein noodle box. That is such an insult. And the content inside is also an insult. They never, ever, ever allow us to be free and independent. That's why our good brother, our ancestor, is stuck up in this giant rock so that he's not free. Even in death, they will not allow him to be free. And so this is the vantage point from which they don't show any pictures whatsoever. And without a doubt, that looks like someone holding on to a penis. And Martin Luther King, styles change, tastes change, but being a titular leader of a nation, and we are a prisoner of war nation, obviously. He's a prisoner of granite or whatever substance they used in the Washington, D.C. monument to Martin Luther King. This is a brand new sculptor's a grave mistake. Nobody would be putting something like this together and they wouldn't step around. And if you really are worth the moniker of an artist, you wouldn't notice this. So it's beneficial to understand the crucible in which Hank Willis Thompson was formed. His father was a successful jazz musician, and his mother, I do believe his father is still alive. I didn't research that enough, so my condolences if he's not, but my joy if he is. I don't wish people any harm. And his mother is an artist who is actually a professor at some New York University. Oh my goodness. Whoa. And so to be that type of Black person, and here's his mom right here where my cursor's circling, to be that type of Black person, you have to be safe to white people. That is a Negropean mindset. I won't say that it is Afro-Saxon, because Afro-Saxon is more like Procyon Lothar. Look up Procyon Lothar and you'll understand what I mean. But whenever you see, like in a documentary, in a movie, when you see the white person show up, you know it's a route. You know it's going to appeal to their fragility in some way. And for them to be putting out these big giant smiles, this is an environment where they not only feel safe, they feel adored. This is a generational indoctrination that's gone on here, where it's wonderful that the family is fully Black. But you can have, and I'm not calling them Procyon Lothars. No, as I said, I'll call them Negropeans. But you could even have Procyon Lothars who are married to other Black Procyon Lothars. Because remember, the whole world, every single race is a Procyon Lothar to white people. And so that is going to give you a mentality automatically where you are not going to explore the full ramifications of us extricating ourselves from the granite rock, the Plymouth Rock that our beloved ancestor Malcolm X fell on us, was pushed onto us. You have to be brave. We got a whole lot of really amazing Black people who are even afraid to leave a like on anything that might anger the white people too much. Please don't mess the white people's minds up more than they messed up. You know how they get. Well, how we gonna get free then of that monument? So this is like one of the only publications that I could find that was saying anything positive about that statue. And it's for good reason, because the art world is anti-black. It's so incredibly racist. It's not even funny. All you have to do is go ask Basquiat. Oh, sorry, he dead. Because nobody cared enough about him to sit back and say, brother, what are you doing to yourself? Why are you hanging out with all these pink people who are never going to tell you you need an intervention right now? And why you trying to prove to them that you could be just so generous? Why you gotta suck up to them? Because they're not your friends, right? And that's just one example. But here we're looking at the past as a gateway to the future. What future do you have planned? One where we don't even rate a full sculpture, where we got on, and here they have the penis thing going on here, so I'm quite shocked. That's very bold of them. But when it comes to monumental historical figures, no, you don't depict them this way. Such as, this is Obama's official in the National Portrait Gallery, whatever the heck one of them institutions are, but recognized as an official exhibition ongoing of U.S. presidents. And Obama picked Kehinde, the artist. The dude is so gay. I'm just saying, that's what he is. He's super gay. So that every single black man he does a painting of is drowning in a sea of fluffery, sea of flowers and greenery. This is that Negropean trauma where you're afraid to enter into your black manhood fully because it seems you've been taught, you've been reared, so it's like reflex. You don't want to seem threatening. There's no stance we as a full people capable of reproducing our beautiful blackness to ourselves cannot be threatening to a people who are in the midst of destroying the entire planet. Kehinde doesn't even depict black people together, black families, black woman and a black man. That is that just trauma right there, where they are repulsed by the only method of reproducing our people. But in a lot of artists' portraits, a lot of black artists are really cowardly in this era. Very, very cowardly. Same with the black politicians, the black scientists, the black media. Highly, highly cowardly. Even the ones who swear they're the new black media. Cowardly as hell. Right? And so Obama picked Kehinde to do this portrait. This portrait is so soft. It's so soft. His feet are being absorbed into the flora and fauna behind. There's flowers all over. No, this is not a respectable head of one of the top nations in the world. Top because it's good? Oh, heck no. I'm just saying, you're the first so-called black president. We know you're not really black now. But at the same time, this is what you're going to put out there. This is because his mind has been colonized. He doesn't even recognize he was perfectly willing to insult himself. Just like, and I'll put the link at the end of the video. I did a review of White Noise, where the Don Cheadle character was applauding his own carnage at the hands of white people. Right? This is the level of servitude, of mindlessness that they have talked so many of us into being, where I remember a swirler was saying, if so what, white men kill us more. If I'm killed by a white man, and she compared him to some singer or some white singer, then I'm fine with that. I mean, that was so disturbingly mental.
as there are no words to express it. Even animals have a will to exist, to survive, to protect themselves. When you become beneath the level of the beast so that you volunteer for the devil to just take you out, whoa, that's what our enemy hopes. That's what he fabricates all these hella weird narratives to do, where he has had a code for our used to be romance movies. Ain't none out there whatsoever anymore. Any black person you see, they got to be in an interracial relationship or they're gay. Okay? They've always had it so that there is no loving romance allowed, because it's going to just seep into your mind after a while that there's no such thing. Next thing you know, you got a nonsensical gender war when there are millions of black people still falling in love with black people. But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the people who they still play our love music in their movies. You think we could write stuff like that and it's based on us being brutes when it comes to love? Of course not. So this is the effect of that mindlessness where you don't even know what it takes to run a nation. You think that appeasement of white people's fragility is a success story when it is our genocide. Because don't you know Obama knows about Fukushima, right? He ain't saying a damn word. And so the portraits for both Trump and Biden are, they haven't even hired the artists yet. But for Trump, they're in negotiations on which artists they're going to use. Often the presidential portrait doesn't get painted until the president is out of office, especially if he's just a one-hit wonder. But when they do them, they don't look like what's the art of the day. Picasso was around when Eisenhower was out there, or whoever this is, Lyndon B. Johnson. I don't know who this one is. But yeah, this stuff don't look like no Picasso. But white people will surely claim Picasso is a sign of their genius when he just stole the genius of our African art. Here's Reagan. What do you see over here? You see the Greek or the Roman pillar. Because it's just all Greco-Roman madness, but it's still something where they know they want to make an impression on the viewer that says, this is the authority. And this is Eisenhower here, all right? Looks like he's about business. This dude is about good times. These are the good times. Okay? Nothing important whatsoever. Even the chair looks weak as heck. And even Michelle's portrait was completely washed out. So washed out there isn't even really any color involved in it. But I'm saying I think she picked her artist too. But when you have a mindset of bowing down, of appeasement, of getting along with the people who can't stand you, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing, so you don't even recognize how to stand up for your own self. So you will defend the indefensible because you thinking like a victim is normal and a compliment, when no, it's just a sitting duck event. Go. I know a lot of us, we don't read books. I'm going to be doing the audio for my books coming up shortly. I have to go according to a plan and a strategy. But we sure love staying clean. And these soaps, oh my goodness, your skin literally drinks in what you put on it. And a lot of these soaps that we are in a Negropean's not an insult. It's a traumatized state. All right. We are in the traditional habit of buying these commercial brands, and they're filled with toxins that our skin is drinking up. And we are so loyal, we think the soap won't work unless it's got laboratory concocted crap that our organic bodies don't begin to recognize. And on top of that, we not only need to buy black, we need to buy pro black, because a sister like me, obviously I ain't changing, okay? And so this is a method to get our food tested for radiation contamination sooner or later, and the sooner the better. You can get all these products right here at 25,000 year cycle. That and so much more. Right up here, you see shop, and then there's a whole separate section for my books, which will, before I test that food, will give you all the methods for getting that radiation out of your body, and also entertain you in my novels, This Black and This Black Nation. Just so you know, because I love you like that. I'm not here for profit. Apple Pectin is safe for children to take, that has been proven in Chernobyl to get radiation out without interfering with the needed vitamin and mineral absorption of children. Powerful, powerful healing. I'm going to share with you always, okay? But when you go to shop right here, you're going to see holistic soap bars by Ajali and all the products that are made by my king, who has studied ferociously. I don't even know how to say that brother. He is a doctor, and he's a better one than the ones that they give those licenses to, okay? But under the Arna Nation, he's a licensed physician. So he has all of his products. He has a class coming up just this Sunday on the 29th, 11 a.m. You got to be there. I know I'm going to be. He's going over that melanin, okay? And he's excited. But anyway, here, when you go to purchase the soap bars, you can enter any of the different formulas, or you can mix it up right here. And then right here, you can describe what type of combination you want. You may want 2 new black soaps and 1 Silbar, or 1 Silbar and 2 Nzingas. And I'm so excited about Nzinga because it's got so much potency in it. But actually, I'm excited about all the soaps because the new black soap, charcoal, has been reported to absorb up to 65% of its weight in radiation. And since radiation is deadly on a 1-atom basis, oh my goodness, is that a rescue? So yeah, this is how you assist me, because another thing I've learned through just my endless search, I be searching for you about radiation. I ran across this motherlode. This is a United States document, procedural manual that is 830 pages long. And don't you know, for me, this is going to be gripping reading on how to exactly test for radiation in everything, detail, 830 pages worth. This is a manual that we need, and we need those who are pro-black, who are driven to be here for you, to go over and understand what this is. And when I get my hands on that spectrogram, and I found out that Princeton had a rundown of the cost on it, that as soon as I saved the tab, and when I went to look for it again, I was like, it was gone. It was gone. They were like, oh no, not that radical sister. We don't want her to know. But then I kept looking, and I found this, and I was like, wow. Instrumental analysis, data reduction, storage and reporting, materials and procedures, appendix. Oh, and this isn't the end of it. It keeps going on. air, atmospheric deposition, soil. Oh my God, sediment. Yeah, I don't even know what the difference is between soil and sediment, but I'm sure going to find out. Uranium and radium in water. Food, okay? That's the thing. I ain't talking about no light stuff, and you ain't going to hear this from Negropeans. Much as I love them too. They're fully black, but they're fully talked out of defending themselves. Straight black family pride is our map to forever. I love you, family.